Oh shit, here we go. Hey gun people! Man, I'm gonna get ready for some comments on this one because I know I'm gonna piss off both sides. So, if you watch me enough, you know I'm totally against cops abusing their authority and messing with innocent, good citizens instead of going after criminals. And I've been called a racist more times than I can freaking count on. So, the sheriff that I'm gonna kind of side with is black, and one of the victims that I'm going to kind of side with is black. So save all the racist comments or whatever, bootlick, jackhammer, whatever. Here we go. This former Clayton sheriff right here is convicted and sentenced to federal prison. I can't believe they're sending this guy to prison, but I don't know the full details. Let's figure out what we know, and then we'll watch the video.
Mr. Hill to prison time. This comes after a jury convicted Hill in October on 6 counts of violating the constitutional rights of detainees inside the jail.
So the sheriff runs the jail. He's in charge of the jail, and he pretty much gets to say what he wants. He's also the sheriff of the county. He's also an elected official. And if the county wants this sheriff, I mean, they elected him. And to be honest, sounds like a pretty good dude to me. And he ain't got no hair. So for all the people that say I hate people with no hair, here we go.
Fox 5's Claire Sims has covered this case since the beginning. She is live outside the federal courthouse with reactions to what has been a high-profile case, Claire.
Sentence, and he cheered, although he later expressed disappointment that the former sheriff never apologized in any way for his actions.
Okay, courts, if you ever end up in court, courts and judges like you to bow, get on your knees, and say, I'm sorry. And all attorneys will tell you that, and I've seen hardcore defendants do it. Even though most people know it's bullshit when they're doing it, you still got to go through the kiss the ring in court. And it sounds like this sheriff didn't, which makes me like him more.
What were you doing in Clayton County that day?
It's a democracy, sir.
It's a democracy? I like this guy. He's like, hey, I can go where the hell I want. But I'm not going to like him in a minute.
United States?
No, it's not in my county.
Okay, so the sheriff said, no, it's not in my county. That may be offensive to some people, and I'm going to get heat saying he's a jackboot. But look, cops sometimes say, my city, my county, you're not going to do that here. I don't really like it. I don't think I've ever said it. I mean, I may have. I don't know. I'm not going to say never, but I don't think I ever have because I just don't like that type of attitude that it's mine. I'm doing a public service. This sheriff said it's my county. He was elected. He's trying to clean up his county. He's done a lot of good in the county. But should he be telling people, no, you don't have freedoms in my county? It depends. I'm kind of okay with it on this case. On this isolated case here. We'll watch the full video in a second here on this.
That was video used in the federal trial of former Clayton County Sheriff Victor Hill. Now, the man once tasked with upholding the law will go to prison for breaking it.
I don't think this guy should have went to prison over this, on what he did. But again, I don't know the full story. I probably shouldn't say that.
U.S. District Court Judge Eleanor Ross sentenced Hill to 18 months in federal prison, plus 6 years of supervised release, 1 year for each of the victims.
So all the victims were black except white, so this is a multiracial crime. So we can't have all the race baiters trying to make this into, it's all about race. This is about government power, upholding the law, elected officials, and criminals. Okay? All these guys are criminals. They're all in jail. Maybe they weren't criminals.
Whose rights a jury found Hill guilty of violating. During the sentencing, 4 character witnesses spoke on Hill's behalf, including interim sheriff LaVon Allen. Each one of them talked about Hill's positive work out in the community.
This holds a lot of weight that the community still likes him and he does a lot of good jobs. Even though it sounds like he may have used that chair as a little bit of a punishment.
But prosecutors argued Hill's conduct inside the jail was an affront to our criminal justice.
So I can't really get all the details, but since they're showing the chair, and I read that he was using the chair as punishment and torture if you were out of hand. I know a lot of places that use the chair, it's pretty effective when somebody's violent because it just stops. They can't fight. You don't have to use physical force. So it's a pretty good restraint. And to be honest, it's not as bad as cops kicking and beating the shit out of people and tasing them and pepper spraying them. I mean, I think the chair is a better alternative. But again, I don't know how it was used. But it seems like this guy's going to prison because he put people in jail for acting out in a chair. However, this guy, I'm not so sure, should have went in a chair.
System, and that he tortured people by ordering them held in restraint chairs.
Tortured them.
Judge Ross told everyone in the courtroom that she truly struggled with this case and reminded the public that she was not here to punish Victor Hill for everything he's ever done or ever been accused of. Though before announcing Hill's sentence, she had some choice words for the former sheriff. As much as you love the law, your love of power overcame that, Ross.
That's a pretty powerful statement from a judge. Because most judges are the most power-hungry people out there. So for her to say that his love of power overrode his love of the law.
Ross told Hill. More than once, Judge Ross brought up Hill's arrogance and said she prays he will sit down for a moment and think about everything. In a video statement, Assistant Special Agent in Charge Chris McRae with the FBI Atlanta says everyone pays a price when law enforcement officials abuse their power.
There is so much gross, negligent, wanton disregard for the law, abuse of cops, killing people, tasing them, chewing them up with dogs, and they don't get prosecuted. And they go after this guy. This guy seems like a pretty stand-up dude, but I don't know the whole story.
The sentencing today should send a strong message to any law enforcement officer who wants to follow their own version of the law.
This is some FBI little punk talking shit. You guys want to talk about the law? The most lawless freaking agency in the federal government? You freaking KGB motherfuckers out there doing all your shit. You want to brief somebody on the law? Jeez.
As I said back at the indictment of the ex-Sheriff Victor Hill, badges and guns don't come with the authority to ignore the Constitution.
Actually, you FBI are the worst constitutional violators on the planet. How can you say that with a straight face?
They come with the responsibility to protect it.
Just before learning his sentence, Sheriff Hill told Judge Ross his intent was never to hurt anybody. Hill's defense attorney, Drew Findling, says they will appeal and call.
Me personally, I hope they win the appeal. I know I'm going to get some hate because I'm taking the cop's side, but this cop seems like a decent guy.
The Justice Department's prosecution of the former sheriff selective.
The fact that he's been singled out to us still remains somewhat of a disgrace, and it also remains a disgrace when you look at what's happening at our own U.S. penitentiary. So take your cameras down to the U.S. penitentiary and see how people are living in their own feces, see how rats are in there, see how people are shanking one another, which didn't take place at the Clayton County Jail.
That is a great point. In all prisons and jails, people are getting stabbed and horrible condition, etc. He's saying it didn't happen in this guy's jail, which means he must have been doing something right. See, it goes back to the old saying where the guys, you want people to stand on the wall, but you can't handle the truth. You want to know they're out there and you want to feel safe from them, but you don't want to know the dirty secrets and know what's done to keep you safe.
Under the leadership of Victor Hill.
Team asked Judge Ross to recommend that he be sent to a minimum security camp because they are concerned about his safety and that he might be a target as a former law enforcement officer. There's no word exactly on when Hill may have to report to prison.
Okay, so here's a short video of them taking this guy. Is talking to him. He's standing there. Says something he doesn't like, so he says, put him in the chair. And the guy walks over. He's not resisting. Cops aren't beating him up. They're restraining him in a chair, but the sheriff appears to be counseling him and talking to him, and what the court described as him being arrogant and power hungry. He probably did get a little power hungry. He didn't like being challenged in his own jail, and he probably thought it was my county and my jail and my this. But he wasn't beating, tasing, shooting, and killing people. And he was maintaining order. And he was doing it in a way that people weren't getting injured. So, I don't know, man. There has to be more to this story. I just don't get it. Okay, so this is the case where they showed in court and he told the guy to get the chair. People are going to be offended by this guy calling him a jackboot and horrible. I'm not really overly offended by his conduct. I know I'm going to get some hate for that, but I'm just being honest on how I feel. You know, we can disagree. Here we go.
50 years old.
Okay. Tell me exactly what you was doing in that Forest Park store.
They talking about that WHO warehouse.
Yeah, there.
I was finna make a purchase. A young lady was in front of me. A young lady was in front of me. There was a gentleman that was a management employee getting ready to ring her up for a purchase as a consumer, and she did not have her money on her possession.
Okay, so this guy goes through this. He seems pretty articulate until he gets to the point he punches out 2 women. But here we go.
Maybe a credit card or cash or possibly money order. So I asked the young lady, could she come around? There was a lady in a wheelchair operated HOV.
HOV. I'm not sure what that is. We call that the handicap vehicle, maybe?
And she told me to move out the way. I told the gentleman in the shirt and tie that was ringing up the order if I could go ahead and get my purchase and be on my way.
I'm going to take a wild ass guess here. He wasn't that calm and talking the way he is now when he was in here. Because you don't go from this calm to start punching women. But I could be wrong.
The lady pushed me. In other words, she pushed me like this. And then I hit her. Lady.
So that's where this guy lost me. A woman kind of pushed him. Granted, she put her hands. She shouldn't have. There'll be a lot of people saying he was within his rights. I don't know if you ought to start punching women in the store. But anyway.
And the HOV got up, and then I hit her. The gentleman in the shirt and tie came around from the cash register, and then he pushed me back like this, and then she went and got the purse, and I told her, do get your purse to pay for your order. And then I left the items. It was chocolate, boarding, milk.
All this while man's just trying to buy some chocolate milk. Damn.
On the conveyor belt, and I left out of the WHO warehouse.
Where you work at?
I'm self-employed. I work from home.
What you do?
Corporate business.
Sorry, so I'm laughing because I can't tell you the number of people that I ask, are you employed? Yeah. Where do you work? I work for the government. What do you do for the government? I get welfare. Government pays me. I'm like, okay, that's not a job. Okay, so here we go.
What you doing in Clayton County?
Somebody issued a warrant and they brought me in.
No. What were you doing in Clayton?
Okay, where he says someone issued a warrant, it sounds like he did this crime, didn't show up for court, he had a warrant, and now they arrested him on that warrant. That's what I'm thinking is why he's in jail now.
County that day.
It's a democracy, sir. It's the United States.
No, it's not in my county. What you doing in Clayton County?
Somebody issued a warrant and they brought me in.
No. What were you doing in Clayton County that day?
It's a democracy, sir. It's the United States.
No, it's not in my county.
Okay, so I agree with this guy. He shouldn't have to justify why he's in a county or where he's at. That's not important. And then the guy says, not in my county. Probably a little arrogant. Maybe he shouldn't have said that. Should he be going to prison?
I'm entitled as an American citizen. No. I have a Social Security card on my possession.
I like this guy's attitude. But he can't be punching out women and shit, getting out of it.
No.
No.
Stop 1 second.
Yes, sir. I'm listening.
I'm listening. I saw the video.
Yes, sir.
The video.
So the fact that the sheriff likes to talk to people, a captive audience, in custody with a bunch of protectors around him, and kind of dominate and talk down to them a little bit, because he is kind of talking down this guy, but he's trying to tell this dude, if you come in my county and act a fool, I'm going to arrest your ass and you're not going to be happy. I don't have a problem with that.
It's not what you described.
Well, sir, do I have the right to a free and speedy trial?
I don't care if you do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm listening.
That's not what I saw on the video.
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you have a mama?
I'm asking, can I get a
Do
fair
you have a
answer?
mama? Answer my question.
What's that, sir?
Do you have a mother?
A paternal mother?
Yeah.
She has passed.
Okay, do you have a grandmother? Did you get to meet her?
My paternal grandmother has passed.
Right. Okay, how would you like it if I pushed your mother and punched your grandmother?
Sir, if someone initiates contact,
I don't give a damn. That's somebody, that's a woman.
may I ask you a second?
So, again, this guy, although he's arrogant and maybe he shouldn't be doing what he's doing, I think his heart is in the right place. That's why I'm so conflicted on this case. Because government power is bad and government abuse of power is bad. But we need people with the right mindset to clean up our streets and not allow thuggery to freaking take over. And I think that's what he was trying to do. So that's why I'm all over the place. People be like, man, you can't make a decision. You're on his side. You're on his side. You don't even know. Well, that's because I'm a reasonable, logical guy, and I know there's good and bad and everything, and I'm trying to balance on who is more of a problem. This guy who's trying to keep his county clean and safe and telling this guy he shouldn't be hitting women, or this guy who's knocking out women over freaking chocolate milk and then not showing up to court and having a warrant put out for him. That's why I'm leading on the side of the cop. Okay?
Am I entitled to a fair and speedy trial?
So the sheriff immediately, when the guy wouldn't shut up, he goes, bring the chair over. So it does appear that he's using the chair as a little bit of a punishment, but is that enough to go to prison?
Roll that chair around me. Roll that chair around me.
Roll Charlie around, he'll be all right.
You understand me?
Yes, sir.
You sound like a dumb.
You sound like a jackass. So he's talking down to this dude, which I don't have a problem with. I mean, I really don't. This isn't the end of the world to me. I would much rather this than cops kicking, punching, cheap shotting, dragging, tasing, shooting people with no gun. This is so minor on a scale, and he's going to federal prison? Man, I'm just not okay with that.
I don't give a damn if she push you or not.
I didn't say that.
Just listen. If your mama push
Just
you,
listen. I
would
said
you
the
hit
young
your
lady
mama?
was
Just
in front of
listen.
me.
Just listen. Don't say nothing. Just listen to what he got to tell you.
If
Just
your
listen.
grandmother push you, would you strike her the way you strike her?
Sir, I'm asking you a third time.
You ain't gonna ask me, Jack. You gonna sit in this
Am I
chair.
entitled to a free and speedy trial?
You entitled to sit in this chair, and you entitled to get the hell out of my county and don't come back. That's what you entitled to. You sound like a damn jackass. Don't you?
Okay, so this is kind of old school sheriffing. You stay the hell out of my county because I know you're no good and you're bringing problems into my county. And if I see your ass, I'm gonna keep my eye on you. I don't really have a problem in that. I get free movement. I get that government shouldn't be telling people where they can be. But if you're committing crimes and I tell you, you come back in this county, I know you're a piece of shit. I think you're a piece of shit. I'm going to be watching you. I don't have a problem with that. Him telling him not to come back in the county isn't lawful. He can't arrest him if he comes back. He's still got to find a charge or something, but he's putting this guy on notice. We don't put up with bullshit in our county. I personally don't have a problem. That's kind of Texas law enforcement kind of way. I mean, I'm okay with that. That's how you keep criminals in check, personally. But again, there's that balancing. How long before he doesn't like somebody who isn't committing crime and he tells them to leave and he tells them they can't come back and he tries to get them for a crime? Kind of like what they're doing for Trump right now because they don't like him. Oh, shit. Now I'm going to piss off everybody else. Man, Trump deserves a jail. Oh, shut up, you big crybabies.
You ever put your hand on a woman like that again?
I want to hear him tell him to get out of the county.
Sir, I'm asking you a third time.
You ain't gonna ask me, Jack. You gonna sit in this
Am I
chair.
entitled to a free and speedy trial?
You entitled to sit in this chair, and you entitled to get the hell out of my county and don't come back. That's what you entitled to. You sound like a damn jackass. Don't you ever put your hand on a woman like that again?
Okay, so everybody can make their own decision on this. I read the article. There's not a whole bunch of great information. If you want to pause it through the article, you can. And read it. You can pause it through this. I'm just not sure this guy should be going to prison. Sorry. He's a black man. Everybody make a note of this when you come here and call me a racist and I hate black people. Don't forget that shit. Alright, we'll end that there. And I only say that about the black thing because I've said it a million times. I don't give a shit about someone's color or what bathroom they use. I care about their damn behavior. We'll end that there.